Welcome to another episode of Tax Sales Starters. I'm your man, Carlton Hoskins, bringing you the latest tips and insights on tax lien and tax deed investing. This week, we wanted to talk about random selection auctions. It's a little bit different than most people understand it. Obviously, it's not the typical premium bidding like we talked about last week. It's a different model. So I want to make sure that you get all the information necessary because I don't know what state or what county you're investing in. And the more information you have, the better investor you become. So when I return, I'm going to bring back with me Brian Sidesticker again from Taxel Resources so he can help us answer this question. I'll see you in just a moment. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to be here. I'm hoping that the information that you're getting from us is really helping you improve your investment portfolio and becoming a better investor. I mean, after all, at the bottom line, that's why we do this. I don't get paid to do this. We're just doing this to give you as much information to make you a better investor. So as always, go check out taxsellfinders.com where you can pull up the latest auctions, do the research on the deeds, do everything you need to do before you get to the auction so you can win more bids. This week, I have with me again my man, Brian Sidesticker, the founder and CEO of Taxel Resources. They help institutional investors grow their portfolios through the provision of data. And Brian's one of the best people that I love talking to about tax lien and tax deed investing. He's just so super knowledgeable. So I've asked him to come back again. And if you've been paying attention to the videos, he's been here for a while. So you can go back and check out some of the other videos with Brian. But this week, we want to talk about what are random selection auctions. I know it's not really common to most people, but if you're investing in certain states, this is really important. So Brian, thanks for joining us. As always, could you please answer the question for us? What are random selection auctions? How do they work?
Auction would be a loose term for random selection, but
Okay.
there are counties that still do this. And really what it means is think of a lottery. You're a registered bidder, you put your name into a hat. And there's different ways that counties will do it, but sometimes they just pull a name out of a hat. I mean, they've got a little more formal way of doing it, but pull a name out of the hat and say, okay, they say, here's a lien. They pull a name out of the hat. John Smith, do you want this lien or not? No. All right. They pull another name, somebody else, right? You want this lien? No. And they'll just go down the line. And the weird things is sometimes if you say no to that lien, okay, your name is now removed from the hat for the next round or multiple rounds. There's like different ways they do that. The other way I've heard of rotational bidding is there's really none of that. You put your name into a hat, they go around and they say, here's the county does it kind of in a vacuum. And they say, okay, well, here's all the investors, here's the liens. We pulled the liens out one at a time and they assign them, here's the liens you bought for the day. So there's different ways because there's you'll find at least through Taxel Resources and Taxel Finance, we try to bucketize things because there's so many different sub processes of what we mean by rotational bidding or random selection bidding. And we put it in that bucket, but like all things, you need to really reach out to the county or learn more exactly what they mean by that style of bidding in that particular county. Because you may learn it in Wyoming, and I guarantee it's not going to be the same, in Iowa and so forth.
Oh my gosh, Brian, thank you so much for that information. That was incredible. Now, I have done some research on random selection auctions previously, but I've never been involved in a random selection auction. And with the information you've given me, wow, that's really interesting. So hopefully you all have taken in this information as much as I have. If you missed anything, go back, rewind, play it again, take your notes, make sure you get this information. And this will help you become a better investor. And again, that's the point of the show, is to bring you as much information as we possibly can in little bite-sized pieces so you can actually apply it to your investments today. As always, thank you for joining us. Don't forget the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can keep up with the latest tips and news and insights into tax lien and tax deed investing. And I always say, go to taxsellfinders.com. It's the best kept secret in the market right now for me. It'll help you identify what auctions are coming up, how many properties are there. You'll be able to do the research on the properties, do all the due diligence that you need. I mean, there's just too much to name. Again, I can't speak about it highly enough. By all means, go to taxsellfinders.com. Check that out. Let them know that Carlton sent you. And until your next investment and our next video next week, happy investing.